your God power. Get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin.
For best results, pause this video at this point here, and watch the video example mentioned in the segment. The links are located in the book chapter, and at the end of the book. If you are watching this online, you will find the link for this video example listed in the notes section. Then, after watching the associated video example, continue watching this video from here.
Okay, now let's look at the illustration. This is the normal reality. This is the regular kind of thing that goes on. You have the physical meaning of the person. Then you have the physical meaning that disease operations work. When you cut people's flesh and you do procedures, you actually fix things. That's the meaning. And then you have the physical meaning that there wasn't any operation performed. So, what do you get? What's the result of that? No cure. If you have a disease, and even though you have an operation that you know that works, if you don't perform the operation, you get no cure. That's the normal reality. That's what's normally expected. You have a disease, you physically do nothing about it, and you still have it. You haven't been cured. That's normal reality. Okay. Then you got God power by unwitting belief. Once again, it's belief because they believe the operation is going to work for them, or they believe that they had an operation, but it's unwitting because it wasn't something that they consciously decided on. They were tricked into believing that it had been performed. So here we have the physical meaning of the person. That's the same. That hasn't been changed. We have the physical meaning of the disease, that the operation works for this disease. That hasn't changed. There's been no God power exercise on that. That was the same belief they had before, that operation works. Okay? But the part that was changed was they thought the operation was performed. They assigned the meaning of the operation being completed, having occurred, which gave them the result of being cured, because they thought they had the operation. And if you have the operation, which works on this disease, you're going to be cured. So if you think you had the operation, you're going to be cured. Simple as that. Did they get the operation? No. Was anything physically changed on their body? No. But they still were cured. Why? Because nothing physical matters. Only meaning matters. Only meaning matters. So if you have the meaning that you had it, you had it. Because just having the operation, the whole purpose of the operation itself was to convey the meaning that you're going to be cured. So if you think you had the operation, you're conveying the same meaning that the actual operation conveys. Remember, you can physically create a meaning, which would be doing the actual operation, or you can use your God power and create the meaning by thought. Now, you might have to be tricked in this case, but still, it's the same meaning. The same meaning that you're going to be cured, you had the same meaning. So you got cured. In the same way that people got the operation, got cured. So here it says, good meanings have been activated and are being elicited from the situation. Once again, he's got the green tuning fork. Hey, I'm getting the operation that works. And then after the operation, I had the operation that works. Now, this is the thing that's important. He's eliciting all the things that are going to make him heal. But this is the thing. Now, this is what's really important. Does the body know, physically know, that the operation wasn't performed? Yeah, it does. It knows the operation wasn't performed. But does that matter? No. Because it goes by meaning. The meaning was performed. So, it was. It doesn't matter that the physical thing didn't happen. Because the meaning of it happened. And that's all the physical thing was about, was creating meaning. So if you got the meaning anyway, you don't need the physical thing. You don't need to be operated on if you got the meaning that you were. Because all the operation was about was to convey a meaning. You beginning to see how powerful meanings are? Your God power? You can have the meaning that you had in operation and be just as successful as actually having it? Because all that matters is meaning. Here it says the green tuning fork vibrations are positive meanings, and they resonate and elicit all the things that will make him better. And he's eliciting, activating all these green tuning forks, and they're vibrating and they're eliciting. He's eliciting healing from his body, despite the fact that nothing happened. Nothing happened. But the meaning did. And it goes to show you that the only thing that mattered was the meaning. Not the operation, not the thing itself. The thing itself was meaningless, except for the thing itself, when it's performed, conveys a meaning. But you can have the meaning without performing the thing itself. It's just that simple. And here it says, the red tuning forks vibrations are negative meanings, which result and elicit all the negative things to make them worse. But you see, once again, they're not being activated. He's thinking things are working out for him. He's getting the operation. He probably paid for it too, because that's part of the charade. You pay for the operation, you get charged, you get billed for it. Doctors operated on you. You went through the whole procedure, the whole ceremony, the whole bit, and guess what? You're healed now. But hey, it's worth it. I would much rather pay for an operation that didn't happen and get the same cure than to have to be operated on to get the cure. Don't you think? It's worth it.
To continue, go to How to Use Your God Power, Chapter number 1, Segment number 15. Let your quest for knowing continue.